morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Gina coming to you live from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, where I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And it is Monday, July 21st. And welcome. I am so happy to be stamping with all of you. Hopefully, we'll get you off to a good start this week. If you're popping on, say hello. Tell me where you're coming from. Tell me what's new in your world. I'm popped up on my phone, it looks like, so I will get that ready so that I can read all your comments. My volume is off already, so good. So good morning, Margine. Let's see, what's happening? We'll do a little chit chat before we get started. While you guys are all popping on, let's see, today's class, Morning Create. We just create 3 beautiful cards. I'm excited to share them with you. Let's see, I have kits available. I was here on Friday and Saturday. I did this live and in person this past weekend. So if anyone would like kits, I have the card buffet here. 6 cards, it's $32. And this is featuring all of the online holiday exclusives, and then I threw in a few things that were from last year. But these are the 6 cards you'll make. So if you would like kits, please reach out. Isn't this tractor adorable? Good morning, Ho. Good morning, Kat. So I have these 6. Like I said, they featured online exclusives, but we have the new holiday catalog that'll be launching for customers in September. So it's all right here around the corner. Kind of hard to believe, like we're on the downslope from summer here, and I'm going to stores and I'm seeing the school supplies, and my son put his jeans on the other day because he was working out in the yard and realized that kid must have had a huge growth spurt because they were really tight and short on him. So I guess jeans are on the list for back to school. Oh, I can give you guys a sneak peek. I know maybe Chris is giving you guys a sneak peek, but we have a new kit coming this fall. And this kit we got, Shannon West, she kind of oversees the Great Lakes region, and we were able to make this kit. And I don't know with the lights and stuff how well you can see it, but they got some really nice detailed floral prints over some kind of like a watercolor wash background. Really, really pretty. And then this real red ribbon, it's kind of shimmery. It's really, really pretty. Is going to be coming our way. And we also had they put sequin stars on the table, gold stars. So that's going to be coming our way too. So just little hints of what is coming our way. What else is coming our way? Those of you who are demonstrators, remember pre-order will start on the 5th, I believe. Yep. We'll get to sneak peek the catalog. So when you're a demonstrator, you get to sneak peek things earlier than everyone else. So we'll actually get to see the catalog next week, Wednesday. Woo woo. Okay, so who's ready to stamp? I'm ready to stamp. Okay, so our first card is this card right here. I carefully packed my card inside of my card. So just a real simple, easy thinking of you. I feel like I was going through my stash of stuff and feeling like I needed cards for thinking of you, and I definitely need sympathy. So this is going to be a fun card for us to make this morning. And we brought in pretty florals and layered thoughts. And this is also the DSP that coordinates with this set. So let's bring all of our goodies in. So how was everyone's weekend? Did everyone have a good weekend? Anything fun and exciting? So we have a piece of granny apple green. I love granny apple green. And of course, you guys know I love my orange. So we've got our timid tiger. And then we have a piece of our DSP. And now you guys can see it is way smaller than what it looks. And I'll show you guys what we're gonna do. We're gonna bring our ruler in. I'm afraid I'm gonna knock something over here. We got our Leaning Towers of Pisa here. Okay, so we are going to take our ruler, and from the bottom of our right side, we're gonna mark it at 1 inch. And from the top of our left side, we're gonna mark it at 1 inch. Now, if you didn't want it as angled as I have it, go 1.25 inches on each side. That would change your angle. Make sure I can see my pencil marks. And then what you're gonna do, I have my pencil mark right here, and I have my pencil mark right here. So I have them both in my cutting line here. And we're just gonna cut. So you're gonna have your 2 pieces just like that. And now we can adhere our pieces. Oh, did I cut them the wrong way? Probably. Yeah, I should have looked at my pattern a little bit. So my angle is gonna go different than my other one, but that's okay. I didn't cut it wrong per se. It's just instead of my angle going this way, it's gonna go this way this time. That's how you remedy that. And I was here on Friday and I thought I'd run out of glue and online, but I didn't. So we're still using up these glue bottles. I had 3 glue bottles here that are on the edge of being thrown away. I think I got 1 thrown away. I don't know how I ended up with 3 bottles. Anyone know how that happens? I'm usually pretty good at using 1 up and then, but not this time. Okay, so once you have your pieces adhered, you've got your piece of white here. And what I do is I lay it over the top of my angle. And you want to make sure your white is off of your mat because you're going to cut off the excess. I'm bringing in Poppy. And I'm stamping right on here just so I know that my sentiment is where I want it. And that my angle is correct also. And then I'm going to bring in my thinking of you. I'm going to stamp that off and put it below like that. And then you have a strip of your timid. So I'm going to adhere that to the top of my label. Like that. And I'm going to do something just a little bit. Uh-oh. I did not bring my orange ribbon. So 2 ways you can do your ribbon. Let me see if it fell in my bag. It did not. Okay. we'll grab this piece of ribbon right here. So two ways you can do this. I put my white piece on and then I added my ribbon, but I kind of want less border down here to kind of match my top. So I would put my orange ribbon down now, and that way when I put this down, my Tim and Tiger would match this up here, and then you can put your bow, okay? So we're gonna adhere this. Now remember not to put it all the way to your edge because you're gonna be cutting off the extra. And I use one of my lines down here as my guide for my angle. Like this. Now we're just going to take our scissors here, or you could bring in your trimmer. And cut off, oh gosh, I did not line that up very good. I almost cut my words off. So make sure your word is on here correctly. So it should have gone a little bit more that way. But we're going with it, right? Okay, so you would add your ribbon, your bow, and then you could adhere. I'm gonna pop this up. And then I should be able to hopefully pop this off when I get home and add my ribbon. There we go. And then we'll add some of these brush butterflies. I love these butterflies. So we'll add one there. Okay, and for our inside, we are going to bring in our granny apple and our timid tiger. I better clean these off before I get anything colored poppy, right? So I'm bringing in this stem piece here and this solid image and then this detailed image of a flower. So we're going to take our timid tiger with the solid image and we're going to stamp off. Like that. And then we're going to bring in that detailed image and we'll do that full strength. Like that. Isn't that pretty? And then I'm going to leave this blank just because thinking of you, I would like to probably write something more personal in there. Whether you need to cheer someone up or you just want to let them know, hey, I'm thinking of you or I've missed you. And there we go. There's our first card. We'll pretend I put ribbon on. There we go. Good morning, Doral. I'm glad you're here too. So there's card number 1. Very simple, easy. I try to keep this class a little bit simpler. Some of my other classes, you know, we do a little more techniques and things like that. So I do like to offer a class that is just a little bit simpler. And so this would be the class for that. Now, which card should I bring in? We'll bring in this one. Okay, here's our next card. Letting the DSP do all the talking in this one. We have such beautiful, this is the beautiful gallery DSP, and it's so pretty. Now, I want to show you guys another option you could do with this. I just left this plain, the label plain like this, and I stamped it in Pretty Pecan, or not Pretty Pecan, Pecan Pie. So that's that up close. But you could alternate your label. I originally stamped it in black, and then I sponged my edges in Pecan Pie. So there's a little alternative for you. And this set features the Charming Day, which is an online exclusive right now, and Peace on Earth, which was something demonstrators could order for an event back in June, but it will be in the catalog. And I love these big words in this set. So we've got heartfelt prayers and with deepest sympathy in here. And I thought that would be perfect with these cards. So now in these kits, I'm going to give you a 3x6 piece of DSP, and it'll be up to you to cut your DSP how you want it to go on your card. So one half of the DSP is this, and I believe it goes, I don't remember how it goes. I think it goes like, must go like this. So I just cut it in half. So it's up to you how you want to use the DSP and how you want the flowers to look on your card, okay? You've got a matte piece here. Cut your greenery out. This is another piece of DSP. This has the little cabin on there. And then I embossed it with, is it the damask? Embossing folder. So super pretty. So we're gonna cut our piece of DSP down. And I think I'm just gonna take some off of the top because that's where it's a little more blank space here. So you're gonna cut this at 5 1/8. And because I don't want to cover up too much of my pretty flowers here, I'm going to decide here quick how I want to put my label before I put this on. So this might go opposite what our other card is, even though really I think I like it like this, or you could put it up higher so that you see more of your floral image. But I'm going to do it down here just like I did on this one, but I'm doing it opposite. So I'm putting my strip over on this side and then my DSP on the right hand side. So I'm going to lay my thin strip down first. Just looking at the pattern here, how do I want the pattern to go? You're going to have a thin border, just of an 1/8 inch border here. And then this piece may or may not quite overlap. Doesn't quite. Okay. So we have that. And then I have the ribbon for this card. And it is gorgeous ribbon. This is Mossy Meadow, and I don't know if you guys can tell. If I do it this way, you guys can kind of tell. Look at all that shimmer. So if one side you look at it, it's got more green to it, but if you flip it over, it has a little more gold look to it, still with the green showing through. But so you kind of get two different looks with this ribbon, so you can decide which way you want this ribbon to go on your card. I'm hoping this means that now we have two ribbons here. This one's online exclusive, so you can get this one right now, but then that red ribbon that I showed you, that's coming. Maybe we're gonna see a lot of shimmery ribbons for the holiday season. I'm hoping. Oh, this is so pretty. Okay, and then we can adhere this to our card base. We have basic beige. And I forgot to burnish. You see how your card, when it lays flat like this, it wants to pop up. And that is why your bone folder comes in so handy, because it helps it lie a little flatter, except apparently not this morning. But it does help your card lay a little flatter. Okay, so we have that. Now we're going to bring in our flower. We're going to stamp that in Memento. We'll see how well I can do this. I know I absolutely love this DSP. The DSP speaks for itself. You wouldn't have to do anything else with this. You could just let the DSP put a label on, and it is beautiful all on its own. So in these kits, you'll get a piece, just a square white piece of paper from me. And you can use, if you don't have this stamp set, so this is from Charming Day, if you don't have this stamp set, you could use any floral piece that you have at home. And that's why I give you a square piece versus, just in case you don't have the stamp set at home. And then I try to line my die up according to the stamp. This to me is easier to do than trying to go like this and stamp it, because you can't see your image. Now, if you were at home, you could stamp your image and then die cut it. But for camera purposes, this is what we do. And then I'm also going to bring in the inside of my card, and we'll stamp that floral image on the inside. Good morning, Mischievous Mary. How are you? Okay, so now we're going to bring in our blends and color these. So I have Pecan Pie and Mossy Meadow, and I'm just going to take my Pecan Pie to color my center. Make sure you guys can watch me color just a little bit. I'll bring this up. So in here, you could just color it a solid image if you wanted to. I'm just kind of polka dotting it a little bit. I'm going to do the same on this one, and then I'm going to bring my dark and just put a few darker dots in there. And I don't mind if there's a little bit of white space coming through there either. Then I'm going to color my leaves with my light. How many of you like to color? I love to color. I know there's a lot of people, Christina's one, that is not her favorite thing when we would design together. She'd hand it over to me. She'd rather cut paper. Mary, you're finally recovered from all your adventures. Mary had quite the adventures. She was here, gosh, 4th of July week. And then she stayed with us for a couple days and ran around with my kiddos and swam in the pool. And then she went up by Jeannie Parker in Muskegon, and they had a bunch of adventures out there. They went tubing and crafting and all sorts of stuff. I think they had 4th of July picnic, lots of fun stuff. So Mary's been all over the place. I agree with you, Mary. It is relaxing. I know some people would totally disagree. It stresses them out, but I really love to color or paint. Now my tip on my blend here is kind of, I don't know, shot or something here on my brush stroke, but it gives me kind of some brush stroke edges, so I kind of like that. Where'd my floral image go? Here it is. It's on my card already. So I'm just taking and putting a little bit of the darker mossy on my leaves. And then I like to go back through with my lighter and just kind of soften it a little bit. At least on that one I did. Okay, now you're gonna bring in your Wink of Stella. And I've got a brand new juicy one, so these flowers are gonna be super glittery. You should see me last night. You know, the first time you get your pen going, you try not to squeeze it too hard, but sometimes you do. And I had big gobs of Wink of Stella coming out, and you should see me trying to save it and see what else I could put Wink of Stella on quick. I didn't want to waste all that pretty glimmer here. Okay, so we have nice, pretty, glimmery flowers. And so for this card, I did my heartfelt prayers. Oops, let's get you guys back into normal screen mode. Okay, so I did my heartfelt prayers. I stamped it off to the left a little bit. Now I'm going to do it opposite, and I'm going to stamp it slightly to the right. And you could use black. I'm going to use pecan pie. I just felt pecan pie was a little bit softer, and we have a funeral to go to on Wednesday, so this is a perfect card for that. And being that it's summer, I guess I opted for a little bit softer version of it. So there is that. And then we're going to stamp the inside, and I'm going to put with deepest sympathy. Say this is one thing that I love about Stampin' Up. They give us really pretty ribbon, and they give us really pretty DSP, and you don't have to do a lot then with your cards. So there's our inside. I'm going to pop up our label. that there, and then I'm going to put this on first. And then we'll tuck our leaves in. And I like to pop everything up. You could just glue your leaves down, but I'm going to pop them up just a little bit. And add a little glue, maybe. Oh, here we go. Now I got too much glue. So lift this up just a little bit. Like that, and then we'll tuck in the other one the same way, but we're going to do that on towards the bottom here. I hear airplanes out there, and that reminds me we have EAA up here, so it's a big airplane, air adventure event that we have up here. What do they say? Oshkosh is about 20 minutes north of us here in Fond du Lac, and they say it is the busiest airport in the world for this 1 week. Kind of crazy to think that. I broke my leaf somehow. So there we go. Here's our card. We're going to add a little bit gems here. So we have the pressed flower motif. So we'll just add a few of these in here. Like that. So I just put them in the center. Well, not really in the center. This one's not, but kind of just in the center of my flower there. Just, it's a real simple, easy card, and it's just, you wouldn't even have to add this floral image. Just the DSP with the label itself looks really, really pretty. So there is card number 2 today. So we have 1 card left. And I had fun playing with this set because I had not played with this yet. This is, our next card is going to feature Sunshine Vibes. So this one here, so we've got rainbows going on and sunshine, and why not have a sunshiny card on a Monday morning? So here we go. We're going to make this card here. Got some cloud cover. I didn't realize how much I'm using this cloud cover, but it is a nice neutral color, so I've been using it quite a bit lately. So you're going to have your 2 pieces of DSP, and they are not, there's going to be a space between. And I love that I get to use daffodil. I love to use daffodil. And lemon lolly. I like yellow too. Yellow is a very close runner-up to my orange being my favorite. They're just happy colors. They're bright and they're cheerful. So you guys can see I have that little bit of gap there, but that's okay because our ribbon is gonna go right in the center. So we're gonna put a ribbon on right away. Has anyone ever been here for EAA? Just curious. I know people come from all over the world to be here for this event. Probably my favorite part, and they don't do it anymore, when I was growing up. So this is, I think EAA's been going on for, I feel like, over 75 years. Our town used to, we have a very small airport, but we get a lot of overflow. But when I was growing up, they had an acrobatic show, and that was always super cool to see. They've had the Blue Angels come in for this event. I don't know that they come every year, but the Goodyear blimp is here always. Just cool. Cool event to see. Cool event to take kids to. Okay. Keep losing my view on my phone here. All right, so then we've got two banner pieces here. So you have one in white and one in the cloud cover, and I've embossed this one already. And let me bring in my scrap piece here. We are going to bring in our sun rays. And on my first card, I stamped off, but I'm gonna do this full strength once with my sun rays here. So your sun rays doesn't make, we're gonna have to make our own circle, okay? Now, let's say you don't have this stamp set at home. You don't have to do this. You could just put your circle on, there's your sunshine, or you could take your blending brush and just kind of make a soft glow go behind your sun. That's an option too. So my first set of rays are gonna go slightly off of my paper. And we're going to do this 3 times. So I've got one here. And then I just keep rotating it around. And actually, I'm going to... So depending on how close you turn this will depend how close it comes together. So I don't need it completely stamped. I have one extra line here, so I'm just inking up what I need. And there we go. So we've created our little sunburst. Oh, actually, while I have this out, I'll set this aside, and we're gonna make a little sunshine on the inside. So we're going to use this half circle here, or half moon. And I'm going to put it so that my straight edge is at the very top of my corner here. So I'm just having a peek of this come through. And the rounded edge is towards the inside, and I missed a little section here on the edge. So I just colored that with my ink. Then I will bring my starburst in. And one time is all you need. And go like this. And you got a cute little sun ray in the middle. Carissa, you've never been there? Yeah, it's really cool to see. And, you know, if you go up to Oshkosh, they have a mall that's across the street, and so many people just sit in the parking lot there. So it doesn't necessarily cost you anything to just kind of watch planes fly over, or if you could see a parking lot. It's a cool thing. If you've never experienced it, put it on your bucket list. I know they do fireworks one night. It's cool. All right, so now we'll put this aside, and I have a piece. I had a piece, here we go, of Petal Pink. We're gonna bring in Sea Secret, and I love the saying in here, sending good vibes. You could put hello, you could put thanks, you could put happy birthday. And I can't see stamping on pink where my label is, so I'm going to bring in my white piece here. Hopefully I don't stamp on it. There we go. So all I did, now if you didn't want to do this, you didn't have to. You could stamp. My original plan was to stamp directly my sentiment right here on the label, but I wanted a little bit more color. So, excuse me, this is why I brought in Petal Pink. Now I'm just going to cut my words apart. Excuse me. And they're not going to be perfect. Okay. So now we can put okay, I'm gonna get a little drink, guys. We're gonna grab our Wink of Stella. Stella up that sunshine. And I'm gonna Stella up the sunshine on there. Oh, good morning, Carmen. How are you? Welcome, welcome. So you're going to place your sunshine in the middle like that. I'm going to pop up. You hate those feathers in the throat, yes. I've never heard them called feathers, but you know, we always say the frog is in the throat around here, so. I have a feeling we're entering my allergy season here. August is around the corner, so I have a feeling some of that I've been having a little bit of stuffiness going on. That might be some of what's happening here. Okay, so we've got sending. Gonna go here. Sending good vibes. I feel like the Beach Boys should be playing in the background or something. So just like that. And then so mark your calendars, everyone. I will be here on Friday. Friday will be the Make a Memory workshop kit class. That'll be Friday. I will be live. I think I have myself down at 2, but I may need to change that. I was looking at my work schedule and I might be a little late, so I might change that to 2:30 or 3 o'clock, just so I don't get here and come in here like a crazy person and don't know what I'm doing once I get here. Give me a chance to get my act together. So I'll be here with that. Now, that is where we take a scrapbook workshop. Now, this one is not a regular scrapbook workshop. This one is actually in the kit section. And in the kit section, you'll find this kit. Actually, Kelly did this kit, but she made it as is. And what I do is we're gonna make 6 alternative pages and 5 cards with that kit. That's a product-based class. That one's going to be a $70 order. So either you need to include the kit in that order if you don't have it, or if you have it already, you get to order $70 of whatever you would like. So now I've layered and I've offset my banners. Margene, you're saying you weren't sure about the boho vibe suite at first, but the more that you've worked with it, the more you like it. And your granddaughter just flipped over it. You can't get, you can't go wrong with rainbows, I feel like. I will say at first the colors, you know, were kind of like, they're not rainbow colors, you know, they're not bright, bold colors, but there's some really pretty paper in here, and I love these patterns. They're so cool. So don't underestimate it. And don't forget that if you don't like the paper or the colors that go with this suite, you can do traditional rainbow colors too. So now I'm just taking a piece here. I put it under my ribbon and I'm just going to tie a little knot. Sometimes I don't like to tie a bow. Sometimes tying a little knot is easier than tying a bow, even though I use a bow maker and that makes it easy, but sometimes, I don't know if anybody else has that problem, but sometimes my hands just don't want to work right, and you know, it is what it is. Good morning, Karen. Shucks, you forgot. Oh man, you probably got busy out there on the farm, and that's how it goes though. So we've got this, and then they have these really pretty gems that go with it. They're the muted palette dots. And I believe this is Mossy Meadow, Daffodil, Petal, and I think Cloud Cover, even though it looks kind of like Balmy Blue, but they're all supposed to be muted shades. And those are the colors in this suite. So I put yellow ones on the last one, but maybe we'll do, I don't know, green ones? Let's try green ones on this one. We'll see what we think of green. I kind of like them. Just something a little bit different. Lots of color going on. You guys know me, I love color. And, you know, I want to say I love rainbows. But I just love color in general. So if there's bright, bold, lots of colors, I love it. Okay, so these are our 3 cards. I'll bring them in today that we did. And I agree with you, Mary. Sometimes a card looks better with a knot than, let's say, a bow. Or let's say the ribbon is too bulky for a bow. It's really nice then to have just a knot sometimes. So here's the difference with these 2 cards. The only thing different on this is that I did my sun rays full strength on this card, and on this one I did second strength, and then we used green versus yellow. I think both work, completely up to you. And then, oops, where's my sunshine? I gotta add my sunshine in here. So then we've got our sunshine. Sending good vibes. I'm gonna leave this one blank too, just because you might need to be a thinking of you card, or it could be a happy birthday card, or I feel this is a very generic card and it could be used for so many different things. So there's that. And then our other card too, we did opposite. Like I said, I'm going to send you a 3x6 piece of DSP, and it'll be up to you what you want to cut off so that you can choose what, if you want to take a little bit off the top and a little bit off the bottom, you can do that so that you can get the most of what you want to see on your card. And then this was Charming Day. I'll give you a little white piece that you can put a flower on if you want, or this card is just as pretty if you just put these green leaves on, or if you just had the label. And then we got that really pretty mossy green shimmery ribbon. So, and it can be done either way. You can put your DSP on this side or you can put it on the right side. Completely up to you. And then we're going with opposites of everything today. I cut my paper at a different angle, but it's still the same thing, but my thinking of you is going down versus going up, and I forgot my ribbon, but same concept. So don't ever think because, let's say you maybe cut something wrong or it doesn't look exactly like what you had in your head or what you see that somebody else did and you're trying to copy it. Don't feel that it's not going to be right or correct or whatever. This has happened. So you guys see, I've done things different on each card. They all look the same for the most part, just slightly different, and that's okay. So I've got that for you guys. So kits for this class are $19 plus shipping. As always, if you guys want me to condense shipping, I'm happy to do that with Christine. So if you have a package coming from Christine, we can reduce that shipping and I'll ship with her. So these would go in the August shipping. Remember, class is this Friday. Like I said, we have the Make a Memory class kit. We'll be doing 6 alternatives, scrapbook pages, and 5 cards. Still working on those, ladies. I have kits available yet. Our Christmas card buffet. This featured most of the online exclusives, and then I brought in, this was from last year, Peaceful Evergreens. This label was, I think it was called Christmas Labels or something, and then this DSP is still current and available, so I would get some before it's gone. So this class 2, $32 plus shipping, or there could be porch pickup, however you guys want. So I think that's all I have for you guys today. Reach out if you would like any kits. Reach out if you'd like to sign up for any classes. As always, though, too, a quick flip the camera back around. I'm going to make you guys sick by flipping you guys around all the time. But best way to find me right now is Facebook. Follow my Glitter and Ink page. That is where I post my events. That's where, if I were to be late for class or something like that, I would post it there. If I need to change times, it's going to be posted there. So that is where you guys can find most of my information. My email, you guys can always send me an email if you have a question at ginalbulo@gmail.com. There's my phone number, call or text me. Just know that if you're calling me or texting me or even emailing me, I may not reply right away. Between work, running kids, I try to get back to you within 24 hours, but sometimes it just doesn't work that way. So I think that's all I've got for you guys, but make sure, oh, what I was saying about Facebook though, is make sure that you're not just liking my page, but you're following it. When you follow it, and I believe there's different settings too, where you can see, make it appear in your feed more. I found out from a few people at a class back at my home a couple weeks ago that they're like, why don't I see your things? But I'm following you. And they were liking my page, but they weren't following me and setting it up so that they would see it come up in their feed right away. So just make sure you guys are doing that so you can stay up to date on everything. Everyone sounds like they're loving the cards. I'm glad you guys all joined me. Thank you, Janelle, for joining in. So thank you guys. I'll be here on Friday and we'll make that kit class, and then I will be back the following week is the scrapbook page. And then one of the a class I'll be doing too is if for anyone who is up in the Appleton area. Appleton's about 45 minutes north of us here in Fond du Lac. I will be doing a watercolor class up there at an art studio. I had to think for a second. It's called the Little Known Art Studio, oh goodness. All right. So this is a studio. It just opened up this spring, and I always say it wrong. Little Known Art House. Actually, my cousin owns this art shop, and she, I remember when she was coming up with names, we were bouncing things back and forth. So sometimes I don't always say it right, but Little Known Art House. And we'll be just making 2 cards in her little studio there. And you can see what her shop's all about too. And the cost will be $15 to make 2 watercolor cards. And we'll be using sailboats and sunflowers. So if any of my local peeps are around, or those of you who are close by the Fox Cities area, would love to join me. I would love to have you there. But otherwise, that is all I've got for this month. And then we hop into August already. So, whew, our summer is just flying by. So anyways, I'll be back on Friday. I hope you guys all have a fabulous week, and I'll see you then. Thank you.